Massive injury boost for Rúben Amorim this evening. Transfer updates on 3 Manchester United players potentially leaving this January or in the summer as well. Academy updates, centre-back headache and that AFCON problem. When is the update coming? A jam-packed show for you this evening, everybody, here on Forever United TV. We're talking Benjamin Šeško's return first of all this evening, and a big update from Sky Sports on the return of the Slovenian, and it is in good time as well, right in time for the AFCON players leaving. It's painful to say this, but they all leave next week. It's come around that quickly. My God, we've been talking about it for weeks, but AFCON is here and the players are out of here next week and United have to deal with it. What perfect timing to bring back your star striker. Well, star I use lightly. He's not made that mark yet, but obviously big money. The biggest signing for Manchester United under the ENQUIRIES era, Benjamin Šeško, is reportedly set for a return this weekend or Monday, because United don't play weekends anymore, do we? It's just something that we've forgotten about. I guarantee you, by the way, just on that, before we get into this news, that Manchester United get a Friday evening or a Monday night or something stupid at 8 o'clock on a Saturday game for the Brighton FA Cup match. Guarantee it, just for TV purposes. You know it is coming. Quickly, before we get into the news as well, I wanted to get this out there as well, because the FA Cup draw was made, obviously, yesterday. Manchester United have already started to take deposits from bank accounts from Manchester United season ticket holders. I just wanted to say this because we are a fan channel and we obviously want to look after the fans as well, and I wanted to bring you an update on the situation as it is. I'm sure you've seen all of the Luke Littler news and everything like that. United fans not happy that a celebrity has gone right through to the front of the queue in terms of tickets and what's happening. That's been cleared up as the sponsors tickets, Adidas. I think Manchester United fans had an issue with the fan welfare officer being there. I can't remember if that's his title, but he was right next to Luke Littler in the stands. So there's a few kicking off, but that's been cleared up. But one thing that hasn't been cleared up, and one thing that needs to be talked about, and Manchester United sort it now. It's not fair, it's not on. And another subscriber here, Graham this time, who you all know well from the chat, has been hit by this. It's not so much, the wrong word to use here is scam, but this is something that Manchester United need to get hold of. So what happens is Manchester United automatically take the money out of your account if you opt in for the cup scheme. And what's been happening is there has been messages, well, no messages going out actually. What you're getting is an email of a bank card not recognised or email address not recognised, and you have 48 hours to actually sort it out before you lose your ticket and perhaps even lose one of your Premier League games in the process as well. There's no warning, there's no text messages sent out, it's sent by email, and everybody knows, look, everyone checks emails, but email's the last thing that you check when you look at your phone. Manchester United are a modern football club that has absolutely multi-millions running through it. If you haven't got the technology at this football club to send a text message or a WhatsApp message to the fans to give them notice that their card has declined or their email address has not been recognised, even though it's accepted on the Manchester United app, then that needs sorting and sorting fast. So I just wanted to get that out there. Sort it out, Manchester United, because this is another fan that's had to deal with this and it's not on. It is bang out of order that you do this to fans, and it's happened quite a lot now. There's a lot of stories. United haven't been in any cup competitions this season, so this hasn't come around yet. First cup game that we've been able to play at Old Trafford all season, bang, same thing happens again. Sort it, it's not on, United, and I'll always be balanced and I'll always say it as it is. Everyone thinks that I'm a fanboy of ENQUIRIES and everything like that, but that is not on, and that needs to be rectified quickly. Into the news. Right, Benjamin Šeško. Let's get into that, because he's set for return this weekend. They've actually got a poll running right now, so get involved in this, everybody, as well, because this is important. These are 4 strikers on this poll that have started in the number 9 position this season for Manchester United. So I've asked the question, who is your preferred number 9 at Manchester United? Benjamin Šeško, Joshua Zirkzee, Matthias Cunha or Mason Mount? Funnily enough, Mason Mount is second on that list right now because of the form of the English midfielder. Good on you, Mason, and well done for finding your way back into that Manchester United starting lineup, and I don't think is anywhere near being dropped, and I don't think Rúben can afford to drop Mason Mount right now. So well done, Mason, for getting back in there. Benjamin Šeško is leading the way with a massive 81% of your votes, though, so far. Goes to show how important Benjamin Šeško's return from injury actually is for Manchester United. Just to give Rúben Amorim that option, because we've looked at this before. With Mbeumo and Ahmad and Mazraoui all leaving next week, like we've said, we've got cover for Mazraoui at centre-back. We've got that down. We haven't got his cover for Ahmad, who they both play actually on that right-hand side at wing-back for Manchester United, don't they? So that is a concerning area. But obviously we've got Cunha, we've got Mounts, we've got Zirkzee, we've got Bruno. And of course we could even bring in Shea Lacey into the fray as well if we wanted to cover Mbeumo for this next 4 weeks that we're going to be missing the players. Benjamin Šeško coming back just gives us that option to maybe drop Zirkzee in there. Mount, Cunha, we've got that area covered. The right wing-back is probably the biggest concern for Manchester United in terms of the AFCON absentees. So that is big. And the importance of Šeško coming back and just giving us another option really does stand out, I feel. And Šeško, his agent has been talking today. He's been talking about where Benjamin is. He came out with the quotes saying Benjamin Šeško is injured at the moment. He's doing well. He's actually doing better than most thought. And you will see him back sooner than you thought. Then Sky Sports' Rob Dorset came out with an update today saying Benjamin Šeško, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen there, could actually feature for Manchester United this Monday night against Bournemouth. We did update you yesterday saying that Benjamin Šeško is back on grass and training individually, soon to be joining back up with the first team squad in normal grass training. So that alone tells you that he is very close. And if he's kicking a ball, we've got a full week's preparation here now, ready to go for Benjamin Šeško to be fit and available. Now, I say available because that means he's probably going to be on the bench. Rúben has never had a real problem with putting Šeško on the bench anyway, even when he's fully fit. So coming back from injury, don't expect Benjamin Šeško to be starting games. Expect him to be sat on the bench. But just to have him there as we play out Ahmad's and Mbeumo's last games for Manchester United before AFCON, I think that is just a comforting factor there for Rúben Amorim, knowing that he has got options there. We can get through these games, and I think Šeško could be key because he can play that direct style of football, which did have a real effect on Manchester United back in October at the start of this run that we're on now. 1 defeat in 9, obviously. Šeško going down against Spurs in that game right in the middle of this run, has missed a few games now. United have just about got by with makeshift false nines or midfielders coming in or having no 9 at all. Interesting comment that came out from Samuel Lucas yesterday from the game at Molineux was Manchester United are crying out for a striker right now, but their best football this season has been without an out-and-out striker. Great comment, really, because it is true. Manchester United are scoring goals without Benjamin Šeško in the side anyway. Look, we are still going to be a better force, I think, with a natural number 9, and I think that will carry on going into the season now. But still, I feel like United have just put themselves in a position where it's good, it's positive, and it's in a good way, without being carried away. People will say, Adam, calm down again, you're getting excited. I'm really not, because all this does is confirm to us that AFCON cannot be used as an excuse. Manchester United need to continue the way that we played against Wolves, albeit poor opposition. We need to continue winning. And Šeško coming back gives us another option. Mount's form gives us an option, and then you've got to deal with it. The situation regarding Zirkzee and Mainu, which we are going to talk about in a moment, could really be, I think, could be heading down a different pathway if they start to get game time. And if, like we said this morning, Rúben Amorim is true to his word and is going to work on a different way of playing, that could really affect Manchester United in the next few weeks, because we could see more game time for these players. So we'll touch on them in a moment. But first of all, I wanted to get into the chat. Give me your thoughts on the striker situation, everybody, and that opening part of the show there. If you are live with us right now, get in there. Thank you. By the way, everybody, loads of likes already on the show. Love that. Fantastic. Very, very positive vibe around the United fan base today. Upbeat, laughing at Liverpool. Everyone tuning in after this show, I am sure, for the Liverpool game. I'll be giving my reaction to it later on, perhaps. I'm going to sit back and watch that game later and properly analyse what's going on there. And like I said before, like, this week is important for Manchester United because of the fixtures that are coming up at weekend. There are a few of them teams in and around us that have all got European football this week. Can United take advantage of it this weekend when we play Bournemouth? Because you know what happens? You've seen it before. You've seen Manchester United's game against Crystal Palace. When these teams have got European football in the week, they go to the weekend's fixtures in the Premier League, not as fit, not as ready, a little bit lethargic and not at it. And you see some surprise results. I'm not going to call it now, but watch out for West Ham versus Aston Villa. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But just keep an eye on that one. West Ham a little bit coming a little bit around at the moment in terms of form and fights under Nuno. So I think that's a difficult game for Villa. I might be completely wrong, obviously, and Villa will just carry on their great form. But I think there's a few interesting ones this weekend. Palace playing City at Selhurst Park. That's an interesting one. Yes, Palace have got Europe, but so too have Man City. So both teams in Europe. City kind of lucky that they have got a European game and then got an away game with the opposition for the weekend also in Europe. But then again, Palace, after playing Man United, will probably benefit from this as well. But with City being a bit tired, we'll see. Enough of that. Let's get going. I prefer Mount because Šeško is injured. That is a poor comment. It really is. I get the joke though, tactical devils. But come on, you've got to do better, mates. You've got to do better. It's the evening show now. You can't even get away with it being first thing in the morning with that one. Taking people's hard-earned money to pay the crybabies off footballers. Shameless FC. Is that on the ticketing situation, or is that just a general jab at these players? No, sorry, Šeško not ready. Better put him sub, play him, and play him at the end in the 80th minute. I think that's what you'd be looking at anyway. I reckon 20 to 15 minutes maybe for Šeško. I really hope Šeško starts on Monday though and gets a hat-trick, getting bored of opponents' fans trying to label him as a flop. He's not been the best, but this team's missed him these past 4 weeks. We have missed Šeško this last 4 weeks. We definitely have, because we haven't got that direct ball. Like I said, Rúben had that get-out formation and system that we played with Benjamin Šeško a few times, which was very, very effective. And funnily enough, even when we dropped Benjamin Šeško for the Liverpool game, it was effective for Manchester United. And teams really cannot defend against it because you've always got the chance of a 50-50 second ball, haven't you? So Šeško's got a better option for us in that forward line in terms of that long ball than what Joshua Zirkzee has, Mount has, or Cunha has, I feel. So let's see what happens. Stephanie says, Adam, Mount enables United to have a flexible and fluid front three. Perhaps that's Amorim's adaptation. He said he can defend, he said he can attack. He's a very, very gifted player. We know this. We know that Manchester United, when we bought him, he had the injury problems. And I think everybody was, looking at the injury situation with Mason Mount rather than what actual player he was. He just wasn't the right player for Manchester United in that transfer window. He's here now and he's finding form now, and he could actually turn out to be a real weapon for Manchester United. So I think Mason Mount has earned he's earned the respect of his teammates. I think he should be earning the respect of the Man United fan base right now, because into his third year, just about coming through, he was labelled as the Demick, the new Luke Shaw, never going to see him, wasted 50 million, and now look at him. He's in the starting 11, I think, this weekend, this Monday, because he's earned that place in there. And that's the difference this time. We're not putting players in just to see if they do something different by chance. We're putting players in because they've earned the place. And Mason Mount has been Man United's most consistent and reliable forward so far this season. So, well done, Mason, again on that one. Mount is right up there with Mbappe and Ronaldo. A bit of sarcasm there. Lowest form of wit, Joe, even though I do say it myself quite a lot and use sarcasm quite a bit. I get what you're saying. I'm not building him up to be the Messiah or the next coming of Cristiano or anything like that. I'm just saying that he has earned his way into a side and he's now playing good football. He was very good in that game last night, and he has been good for United in many other games before. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, hi Adam, great timing for Šeško. He was showing some good signs before getting injured. We certainly need him to offer us something different. On another note, Malacia, left wing back, is he likely to be tried? I don't think so. I really don't. The fact that Manchester United are open to offers for Malacia going into this January transfer window kind of tells you where the thinking is from the football club and Rúben on this one. Malacia, I don't think he's going to come in. He's not a starter for Manchester United. He never will be under Amorim. He will be sold, or he'll be sold in January or released. Mate, I think that's what's going to happen. He's just not good enough. He really isn't good enough. So, yes, I'm waiting, Madhouse, for Slabhead's update. We should hear on Slabhead and Maguire, for anybody wondering about the nicknames. By the way, if you didn't know that Maguire was called Slabhead, then you're not really a United fan anyway, are you? But Slabhead, we should get an interview update on in the press conference on Friday with Rúben, so we'll have to wait that one out. So trying to dig out information. It's shortcoming at the moment in terms of extra information on certain players coming through. Information that we do know, and that is being reported out at the moment, is the Kobbie Mainoo situation. As many as 12 clubs in for Kobbie Mainoo now. And this report from Nate Sol and Chris Wheeler in the Daily Mail, very, very interesting to see, because Kobbie Mainoo got more game time last night. And it's thought that this so-called new system could benefit Mainoo. Mainoo, in fact, could indeed challenge for a position in the number 10 role, what Bryan Mbeumo is vacating. Now, Bryan Mbeumo has been a mainstay week in, week out for Manchester United, so him missing is definitely going to leave a void. Could Kobbie Mainoo compete in there for that? Does Bruno push forward? Mainoo go into midfield next to Casemiro? Is that an option for United? There's plenty to play with, and obviously Šeško, like we said, does add the intrigue into how Rúben is going to approach that front three going forward. But the story on Mainoo as it is, and the update, the 12 clubs, yes, that's been said by the Daily Mail. We know that Kobbie Mainoo's preference from that report is still Napoli. But Vincent Kompany's Bayern Munich are definitely in the mix for Kobbie Mainoo. Everybody should be in the mix for Kobbie Mainoo. When you look at it from the outside, this is a young, quality midfielder who is on next to nothing in terms of footballers' wages, that wants a loan. Anyone who's anyone will be all over Kobbie Mainoo. So when you hear stories of Napoli, Bayern Munich, all of the other top European clubs, some Premier League clubs as well, higher than Manchester United, according to these reports, in for Kobbie Mainoo, it's no surprise to anybody. Kobbie wants football. He wants away from Manchester United. Maybe Rúben Amorim, we don't know. We don't know. Their conversation on the sidelines didn't seem to be one of a player that's got a lot of discontent in him, that has got any animosity in him or any anger towards the manager. It just looked like it was a straightforward substitution. Kobbie, you've got to get on that pitch and do a job for us for the last 20 minutes. He did it well. His stats were very good. He keeps hold of the ball. And I think that there was Kobbie Mainoo doing everything that he possibly could to just show Rúben Amorim that he can be used, at least as a substitute, to maybe push that mindset of Rúben Amorim into thinking he might be able to start him at some occasions. Look, Kobbie's got to do everything he can when he gets the minutes. He had an opportunity yesterday because United were 4-1 up, and he took the opportunity and played okay. Yes, shite Wolves side. Said it all before. We said it last night. Wolves are crap. Awful team. Worst in the Premier League era. Doesn't matter. Kobbie came on and did what he had to do after United did what they had to do last night. That's all Kobbie can do. Keep fighting to get on off the bench and maybe get into the manager's mindset. If he does think of changing something, like he said and alluded to last night, as in a system change, then Kobbie's on the bench, he's coming on and he's working hard and he's doing his bits, then he's there. He's in the manager's thoughts. Casemiro had to do the same. 7 unused substitute appearances in a row last season for Casemiro. He's now the most important man in this system for Rúben Amorim, and he starts every game and is protected in every game in terms of bringing him off to make sure he's available to start as many games as possible after that. And that is where Kobbie needs to fight, and that's what Kobbie needs to look to get back in this side. I don't know if it's going to happen. Look, we can always hope and pray that something like that does happen and Kobbie finds his feet again and we get the old Kobbie Mainoo back. But right now, we can only judge what we've seen. It's not looking good for Kobbie. Good little cameo last night. Nothing spectacular, but did his job. There are plenty of clubs that would take him. And I think Kobbie's got to make a decision now. We're getting to the point where it's like, right, okay, AFCON is here, like we said. Next week, the three amigos all head out to the African Cup of Nations. Kobbie Mainoo has got a chance in a couple of positions here. Well, them players are out. Xerxes fought his way into the manager's reckoning, obviously as one of the front three. Kobbie Mainoo should be doing that and being ready to replace Bruno as well, if Bruno is thought to be the best option in that number 10. Maybe push further forward again. Kobbie slots right in. Maybe Kobbie Mainoo, well, he's definitely going to get more game time in terms of off the bench anyway, like we said. So it's not like he's going to be an unused substitute, because I think he's going to be one of our only forward options off the bench. Obviously, Šeško coming back is going to help us as well. But I do believe that Kobbie should be looking to get a bit more game time now. And then just do what you can off the bench, Kobbie. Go out and perform, and you just don't know. You've got a few weeks before that January transfer window opens. Maybe something will change in that time. Maybe we'll see Rúben Amorim looking at this a different way. Kobbie is back in the reckoning, like Casemiro did, and we all move on from there. We shall see, won't we? Does anyone actually feel like Kobbie can survive? If Rúben changes the system, does Kobbie Mainoo survive? Even when Šeško is fit, Amorim doesn't even pick him most of the time. He gets dropped for big games by Amorim. I beat you to it, Cal. You must have come in late, mate. I've already said that one, buddy. But yes, you are right on that one. So he's not going to come straight into the side on Monday if he's fit. He will be on the bench. So it's great to have him as an option, is what we were saying earlier on. We're better with Mount as a false 9. One match against the worst team in the league, really? It's a question that's been asked. He has played false 9 before, mate, though. And we did have a great performance from him in that Arsenal game as well. And a few others. Let's not forget what he has done so far this season. We're not making him out to be the best. United are nowhere near that level anyway. So let's just accept it for what it is. And what it is a good option to have. That's what it is. I still don't think he will play Kobbie. Šeško back. Mount will go in at 10 with Cunha. Bruno will stay in at centre midfield. But Kobbie will get more chance off the bench, because the games are going to be coming a little bit more frequent now over the periods going through Christmas into New Year. So Kobbie's game time will go up. That might be a bit of a push. But game time off the bench, I expect more minutes for Kobbie Mainoo. So let's just see if he takes them. It's all we're saying anyway. No, Kobbie will go. Changing of the Ten Hag guard. What else we got? Even better when it's an early Xmas gift off your dad. Oh, someone else's conversation. Never mind. Sorry about that. Let's move it on to the Joshua Xerxes situation. Similar to Kobbie, except this one is one that I think Manchester United will endorse. The latest from Sky Italy on Joshua Xerxes' situation. Roma are in daily talks with United for Xerxes. United prefer a permanent transfer or loan with obligation to buy, while Roma are pushing for a loan with an option to buy and could become obligatory under certain conditions. We know about that. Again, it is more of the same updates on Xerxes, but the difference between Mainoo and Xerxes is, I don't think Man United want to lose Mainoo. They're happy to sell Xerxes, and I think he's gone in the summer no matter what. So if they're looking to push Xerxes out the door in January, if someone comes in and buys him at the right price, United will sell. Do they have someone lined up to bring in? Or is that Kobbie Mainoo slotting right in there into that number 10 position as an option off the bench? Another player out the way for Kobbie? That's how I see it. And that's how I realistically see Kobbie getting in this team in the number 10 role. So Xerxes could have an impact on Mainoo. Likewise, Mainoo on Xerxes, depending on Manchester United releasing either one of these players. We have heard throughout from several different journalists that these two players are only going to be leaving Manchester United if there is a replacement to come in for them. And I just don't know of any obvious replacements. The only player that would likely come in the forward position is Antoine Semenyo. Bournemouth are doing everything they can to keep hold of him in January. That is the word coming out from the South Coast, from the Vitality at the moment. The Liverpool one, I actually forgot about this. I don't think it's even going to matter, but great news today was that the Liverpool fan that racially abused Antoine Semenyo on the opening day has now been banned. I think I've been arrested as well. So that's great news that he has been caught and given what he deserves. But does Antoine Semenyo want to go to Liverpool with that in mind and his experience there? Just a little side note there as to a reason not to go to Anfield again, along with the ever-lasting circus train of Liverpool stories coming out at the moment. It is it's a non-stop fun bus, isn't it, Liverpool right now? It's news after news after news on different things going on at that football club. It's just nice that it's not Man United for a change. So Liverpool have taken our title of the Circus Banter Club this season. And there is a gap of 4 places between the two clubs now. Who'd have thought it'd be United on top of them, though, at this stage of the season? Interesting. They've got a huge game against Brighton this weekend. Massive game tonight against Inter Milan. We could be seeing a scenario here with them where I think Arne Slot and Mo Salah both leave. And you're looking at a completely different Liverpool. That probably scares me more, because I think a decent manager coming in will sort Liverpool out. So I'm not looking forward to Liverpool changing managers. I could do with them just clinging on to the odd results so Slot stays. It would make me feel a lot more comfortable. It really would. But thoughts on Xerxes? Anybody, if you have got any, get into the chat and let me know. We're actually creeping up to 200 likes already, which is epic. Thank you, everybody. Absolute legends, every single one of you. In my opinion, Bruno is our best 10 and should be his permanent position in the club. He's not a midfielder by any means. Menu is, and that's where he's got to be used. Menu isn't. He's a 10 and played 10 in the academy. We was actually talking to a player that had been in Manchester United's academy. And when you talk to people about the past of Manchester United's academy, and you know I've done a lot of that, they all say the same thing. The misprofiling from the higher management and first team of Manchester United for academy players has completely derailed so many careers. Scott McTominay was a 9 and a 10 in Man United's academy. People who played with him or alongside him in the academy have all said the same. Kobbie Mainoo, exactly the same. Playing players in different positions just to get academy lads in the team, it's not fair on them, and it's not going to help any development at all. So that, I feel, is, again, a big point to put out there, and where these players are used to playing. If they're playing in a foreign formation, in a foreign position that they're not used to, they're not going to thrive. And that is a problem that Manchester United have got right now and are going to have to sort out and deal with quite quickly. Cunha doesn't deserve a starting place in the team. United putting square pegs in round holes at the minute and just about getting away with it. Squad is so poor, says Lee. Cunha's not a square peg in a round hole by any stretch at all. Cunha is a 10. I haven't got a concern of Cunha. I think people are making a lot out of him and his form. I've seen it in bits and bobs at the moments where he has been good. He just needs to calm himself down, stop trying to impress, and Cunha will take off. He will take off and flourish at Manchester United. I'm fully convinced of it. Just give him the time. I think that's what will happen. Xerxes is a decent player, but I don't believe he has a future at United. For me, he would be one of the first I'd sell. He is just not the kind of player that can hit the heights of being elite. That's from Mr. Dacia Sandero. I think a lot of people would agree on that one. And again, Manchester United look likely to agree on that one as well, mate, because he does look like he's heading out the door at least in the summer transfer window. We're going to keep an eye on all of that as it goes into the January window first of all. Xerxes situation, that is, and Mainoo's. So we'll keep you fully up to date with that as well. 200 likes in the bag. Thank you. Smashed it, people, tonight. Love that. Into the other stories as well. Marcus Rashford, by the way, has made it clear by all accounts to Manchester United that he only wants to stay at Barcelona. And this, therefore, according to Spanish reports, giving the leverage to the Catalonians to lower the price of Marcus Rashford. Swivel on that is what I would respond to Barcelona with. We will let Marcus Rashford rot, then allow him to leave for nothing or peanuts. That is Manchester United's stance, I think. I don't think there's even an issue. They would love to cash in on Marcus Rashford and get the money, but let's not forget, it's not a lot, and his wages are a bit of a hindrance, yes. I think Manchester United would rather let Marcus Rashford rot than sell him for nothing to Barcelona, because Rashford is demanding that he stays there. Barcelona can't afford his wages anyway. So when we're looking at Marcus Rashford right now, I'd just let this one cook for the season and let him and these reports from Spain carry on. Always remember, reports from Spain are incredibly biased to the Spanish clubs and are always trying to drive that narrative. And I just don't believe him. I really don't. I don't think there is anything in this story. Allow the season to play out. We shouldn't even be talking about him right now. But just to bring it up because it is out there and people on social media will be talking about it and using it against the club buckling. No one's buckled yet, and Marcus Rashford's season isn't over yet. So let's just see. Anything can happen. Heaven forbid, touch wood, I don't want this to happen, but like any player, there could be a bad injury around the corner. You just don't know. So let's just look at Rashford when we get into May, when the end of the season is in sight, and then we'll deal with him. Not even worried about him. Carry on playing carry on playing where you want, Marcus, and enjoy your football in Barcelona, mates. No one cares about you here right now because you're irrelevant to us. So carry on. Hope you do well as well. I do. Honestly, I mean that. Former Man United Academy player onto the current Manchester United Academy. They're live on MUTV tonight in the FA Youth Cup, everybody. So if you have got that channel, go and watch them. You will see in that team, you will see the likes of JJ Gabriel, Shea Lacey, Godwill-Kokonki in that team for Manchester United tonight. Jimmy Thwaites. Oh no, Shea Lacey isn't in that team. It's Jimmy Thwaites, sorry. I got that wrong. Don't think that you'll see Shea Lacey tonight. He was in Man United starting... first team squad last night for Wolves, so cannot play in the FA Youth Cup. But Thwaites is in, Kokonki is in, JJ Gabriel is also in the side as well for Manchester United tonight. And watch it because you will get a chance to see the raw talent that Manchester United have got. There is a report going out today that Shea Lacey will actually be getting game time in the first team this season. And not just him. Also, alongside him, Jimmy Thwaites, seen as one of Rúben Amorim's favourite players from the under-18s that has what it takes to make it at Manchester United. We've talked about Thwaites, Fletcher, Lacey, Gabriel, Kone, all of these players consistently on the channel, of course, and we like to keep a track on the academy players and the prospects that could potentially come through. But Jimmy Thwaites is probably the most excited I've been about an academy player due to come in. Obviously, JJ Gabriel is the headline maker, but he can't play yet anyway. So, Jimmy Thwaites plays as a out-and-out, ball-carrying, ball-controlling, game-running number 6 and nowhere else. He is a master of that position. If United can nurture him into this team, you could be picking up a quality midfielder into Man United's first-team squad from our own ranks for 0. That is how important it is to make sure the transfer window is right and the right players are moved on, giving these younger lads a chance to come into the squad. Not the first team straight away, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but just the squad to try and cover that squad depth that we need, because this kid is absolute quality. Alongside Lacey, these two are exciting. You can talk about all of the others as well and get even more giddy about the whole situation, like Fletcher, like Kone, like Chidowabi, and everything that we've got in that academy. But in the position that we desperately need players for right now, Jimmy Thwaites is absolute quality. I've said it before. Just wanted to talk about him again today because that story came about. There could be a potential position. I don't care if there is or if there isn't. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't actually feel like he will break into the team this season, but that kid definitely has what it takes and he understands that position down to a T. He's not a a destroyer, even though he does like to throw his weight around, little of it, because he is quite slight. But he still holds his own on that. He just carries the ball, and his calmness under a press. One of the best press-resistant players I've seen come through United's academy in a long time. And when was the last time we had a holding midfielder come out of our academy? Somebody tell me. When was it? We've adapted them. We've brought them through. You could say the Nicky Butts of this world, Paul Scholes'. They were more attacking 8-style players back in the day. I think we've seen Scholes drop deeper in his older age, but his range of passing, Jimmy Thwaites, and how quick he is with his feet to get out of tricky situations. He wants the ball, demands the ball, and controls football matches. Hopefully I've not blown him up too much there and commentator cursed him for tonight. But if you do get the chance, I've just teed him up. Go and watch that FA Youth Cup tonight, everybody. It's at Old Trafford. It is on MUTV as well. So give it a watch, because that needs to happen. And it would put to rest the opinion of Rúben Amorim killing the academy as well. But again, I've always kept a level head when it came to the academy under Rúben. And I still think Rúben's right in not bringing players through unnecessarily just because we need squad players. He is treating them right and making sure that they get the right development and come through at the right time. I haven't got a problem with that approach from Rúben at all. And I've always been that way, and I've always said it that way as well. And everybody knows that on this channel. So I think that is right. And I do think that we should be looking after our academy players that way, nurturing them properly and giving them the right opportunities at the right time. That's got to be said, and that's what's important. And he was one of them. Shea Lacey will definitely get game time for United this season, I think. I think it's going to be a Jimmy Garner, good shout there, actually, Tactical Devils. Very, very good shout, because we let him go. Reports from TalkSport were that we're actually looking to go and take him back in the summer. We will see if that comes about. I doubt that, because I think he's going to sign a new contract for David Moyes at Everton, and that would be great for him. But Manchester United's own development right now should be what we're looking at, not the past. The present is still not fixed. That's going to come to recruitment, and that's down to United. That is. One good thing about Man United recruitment has brought us to the next topic, and I want to know, again, Aidan Heaven last night was given that role in the centre of Manchester United's back three by Rúben, and he's come out afterwards and talked a lot about that in the media after the game, and saying that the manager trusts him to play him there. He feels like he is part of this squad. He feels like he is part of Rúben's plan. He loves him in a way for trusting him. And again, we have to say, Rúben's killing the youth. We've got two teenagers fighting it out at the back there for Manchester United, in Lenny O and Aidan Heaven. Yes, you could say that they didn't come through Man United's academy, but they're still teenagers. They're still youth, and they're still fighting to start in Man United's starting 11. So that, again, needs to be remembered when it comes to these players. United's centre-back headache right now, Heaven has just really caused a problem for Rúben Amorim. I think he has given him a selection dilemma. I really do. I said it this morning as well. The more I think about it, the more watching it again today, the game back a bit and looking at Aidan Heaven and some of the calmness that he showed in that game, in particular when it was still tight and 1-1 in the first half, under pressure, when the crowd was up. I thought he handled himself impeccably, and I thought he had a very, very good game. Leacher coming back is a problem for Aidan Heaven, I feel, because a decision then is needed to be made. Does Leacher come into the centre? Does he replace Shaw? Can't see that. And then you've got De Ligt and Maguire knocking on the door, who everybody says we have to have in our side. Leacher's back, Shaw's playing well, Lenny Yoro, generational talent, Aidan Heaven getting a start at the centre of that back three, and he's a real force for United. And you've got De Ligt and Maguire and their experience coming back in. Headaches, good headaches. I wish we had that sort of problem in midfield. I really do. That would feel 20 times more comfortable about Manchester United and this season if we had them sort of options in midfield anyway, but we haven't, and unfortunately we are where we are with it. It's a good topic to talk about, Manchester United's centre-back position, because trust me, even before we started this channel, Manchester United's centre-back situation has been a nightmare. An absolute nightmare, hasn't it? We've always had centre-back injuries at this football club, and it has never changed. And now, even with two injured players, we've got an abundance of centre-backs. We're even sending one to AFCON next week, and I'm not concerned that he's going. It's good to see that United have got them options there, and it's good to see that we've got a couple of young players also battling it out for Manchester United at centre-back as well. So, yeah, very, very happy, and I am very pleased that Aidan Heaven feels like he is being trusted and feels like he's got a chance of making these starting positions now. We'll get a few comments in on the show now, just to gauge some more opinion on all of them subjects as well. I am an admirer of Heaven. To come into the team last year at such a tender age is massively impressive. Yo is an excellent young player too, and both of them are only going to get better, says Andrew. Very true. Leacher can play centre as he can play six-ish as he did in Holland. Who would you rather have at centre? Who would you rather have at centre-back? So in the middle of the three. Who is your ideal player for that? Because that's supposedly the player that does drive forward as well and go into midfield. That's how it used to work at Sporting for Rúben in his back three there. So who is that player? Who is the best option for Manchester United in that area? Who would you go for? Let me just check the poll and where we're actually at right now. We're creeping up to 1,000 votes. Let's get 1,000 votes on that before we shut it down. Who is your preferred number 9? Šeško, Xerxes, Cunha, Mount. Get into that poll, everybody. 81% saying Šeško at the moment. Going with the natural number 9. It's where I would go as well. Mount's far from being crap. I just want fans to not go over the top. He's had a few good games back to back. Let the lad settle in. Don't put too much on him don't put too much on him too soon. He just needs to focus on staying fit. He's been fit for 6 months, mate. This is Mason Mount now playing 90 minutes in games. He did it against Crystal Palace, and he's done it again. Near enough, anyway. Pretty much against Wolves, subbed off, obviously, but so you know what I mean by that. He's playing out these games now. So really, really impressed with his game time and his fitness, even though he really shouldn't be. We shouldn't use just being available as a big positive, but it is for Mason Mount because he is going to be very, very important for Manchester United. It is. On the AFCON side of things, Ahmad has been added into the Ivory Coast squad as expected. That announcement has come today. We are now waiting for the call from the national teams as to when. Rúben alluded to it last night. Maybe the middle of this week we will know. So we're expecting some form of definite in maybe tomorrow's news or Thursday's news. Definitely by Friday when Rúben speaks to the media again. So that's what we're waiting for now. That's all. Just full confirmation. That is when the African Cup of Nations players are heading out. It does look like we are going to be missing Mazraoui, though, for the Bournemouth game. 1 day earlier for him than everybody else because they're in the first game of the tournament. So Morocco are going to be calling in on Mazraoui, unfortunately. So we are going to lose him. Well, like we just discussed with the centre-backs, it's not really the end of the world in that area of the pitch. More right wing-back is the concern with that one. Would rather have Maguire at central centre-back, Martinez left centre-back, De Ligt right centre-back. Strong, experienced, and definitely a good back three from Graham there. You would drop Shaw. If Shaw's been playing well, we can't ignore Luke Shaw. As much as most Man United fans joke about him and his amount of time at the club with not really putting much in. I was actually on Sky Sports last week and I was talking with Darren McAntony, the Peterborough owner. And I actually asked him a question on the situation with the likes of Luke Shaw and renewals of players. And the first thing that came out of his mouth was the availability. It's all about availability. A player is judged off of the percentage he's been available through injuries before they get new contracts. So again, looking at Leacher and Luke Shaw both next year, a decision from Manchester United needs to be made. Look, I'm not saying that Peterborough's structure is the same as Manchester United, but it was interesting to hear from an actual club owner on how they process player contracts and renewals and what they judge it off. And it was the availability. The most valuable player is an available player to any football club. And renewals are judged on that. If a player is only, I think he mentioned the 20% rule, and I can't remember exactly how he described it right now, but it has to be over a certain percentage before they even offer him or consider going to negotiations with that player. So big decisions to be made on both of them two centre-backs next summer as well, which might explain why Manchester United are actually looking at, obviously, the likes of Mark Guehi, Maguire, Leacher and Luke Shaw. Out of these 7 centre-backs we've got right now are all under question in the next 2 years, even less. So Manchester United need to get organised at centre-back as well. And maybe this luxury of having so many centre-backs right now isn't going to last that long. That pretty much is your show this evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of it. Do remember to get your comments in when the live is finished. Please do make sure that you like the video. We're actually creeping up to 250 likes. I don't know why I couldn't even say that then. Sorry. But 250 likes. Get your comments in, like the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, everybody. Just to finish up the poll as well, over 1,000 votes, 81% of you would prefer Benjamin Šeško as your number 9. Out of every option we've got for the rest of the season, Benja is the one. And that was our main headline tonight, everybody. It looks like he's going to be back and available for the squad on Monday against Bournemouth. Perfect timing for Rúben Amorim, as next week we say bye to Mazraoui, Ahmad and Mbeumo. The updates on them 3 coming this week as well. Cheers for watching, everybody. Have a great evening. We're all going to laugh at Liverpool right now. And well done as well to the member that has just grabbed that membership off London. Legend. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Love that, matey. Let's go laugh at Liverpool get beat by Inter Milan before they get beat by Brighton at weekend.